Aloha! How are you doing? It was wonderful to see you today. Great job today. A lot of what we did was pretty interesting. A lot of the finger movements that you kind of saw me do on the piano are versatile for most instruments. What we learn is we see how to hear and judge those major seconds and those minor seconds. Stuff all over my shirt. It's not good. Major seconds, minor seconds. So what I did on the piano, I mean, I'm sure you might be able to see this too as well. It's not going to be the best, but when I found these three notes and then these two notes, when I find the two notes here and go down a half step, that note is my C. So no matter where I go on this keyboard, if I find three notes, two notes, three notes, two notes, if I take these two notes and go down a half step, that's a C note, C note. Just so happens this C on a piano, 1, 2, 3, 4, middle C is called C4. So when I play C4, that's actually the same frequency as it is on the ukulele, yeah? So what we have here is the high G, C, middle C, E, middle E, or E4, and then A4. So the chords we know are going to be boop, 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 C major. We're going to put our finger down on the F note here, lift our C finger, and put our second finger down on the A note. So F note, A note. That's the E string. So an E to an F is a half step. If I went E to an F sharp, that would have been a whole step. If I went E to a G, that would have been a 1, 2, 3. So a E to a G is a minor third. A E to a G sharp, that is a major third. We'll talk about that more, but it's the difference between hearing a happy major and a melancholy minor. Notice how in both of those E's, I had E and B, B, E, but I had a G minor in one and a G flat, G natural in one and a G sharp in the other, giving two distinguished tones. So what we're going to be looking at today with our new chord, we have our C major that we were able to play in different fingerings. We've got our F major that we can do in two different fingerings. Dare I say three, but I hardly ever use this one right now. But when we have this right here, I have the F note and the A note. Now, our G major, which is our new chord of the day, it utilizes the first finger on the C string, the thickest string, at the second fret. I skip the E string in its entirety. We'll come back to it. I will put my second finger on the A string on top on the second fret. So let's build those up really quick. C, C sharp, D, or C, D flat, D. That's an enharmonic note. It's the same as two different names, one note. It's like saying here, here, here. I hear that, or it's over here, like right here, or what's the other version of here? Here, here, here. Can't remember. Anywho, when we have an F major, the next one's gonna be G. This is on a D, we're gonna play a B, so let's walk it up. A is our top string, or our furthest string away from us. A, B flat, B, or A sharp, B. So when we have a D and a B, let's go back with our third finger to hit that E string at the third fret, giving us a G. So we have an E, F, because there's a half step there. There's no note in between E and F. We have C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. E sharp is F. As well as when I go F to here, that's an F flat. I just hardly ever call it that. We'll get more into that when we're naming chords, but this is a great way to view this. I've got this F major. When I have this G major, I now know three chords. This is called a 1-4-5-4 progression. Lua, lua, lomba, we gotta go now. There are millions of tunes that are based off of the 1, 4, 5, back to 4, back to 1. The reason being is when I have a C, it is the 1 in the key of C major. When I have my next triad, it's a D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and a C again. Well, here we have the same. C, 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 C major. This is my D note, D, D, D. We'll have a D minor. You and I will talk about this later. We're going to learn the D major and the D minor. The E minor, which I spoke about in the beginning of this episode. And then the E major. We've got an F major and an F minor, a G major, a G minor, an A major, an A minor, a B major, a B minor. And it might seem overwhelming. Yeah, there's 7 chords major. There are 7 chords that are minor. There are going to be 7 that are diminished, 7 that are augmented, and then variations of those. But once you have these notes, you can do anything. So the jam along at the end of this practice is going to be me playing in C, F, and G. And what I'd like you to do is just play any notes that you want over the top of my rhythm and see if you could pick out some sort of melody. Something that sounds good. Could be 2 notes. Or it could be something really involved where it has like different movements and correlations between there, okay? Either way, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be practicing to get these together. I'm going to be your music mentor for this time. So with our new chord, I would suggest playing the C major, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C and 2. Utilizing our whole note, attack on the 1, keep the right hand going, and then switch your chord structure on the 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You have a whole eternity before you have to come back to play that note on the 1, right? So when we move to half notes, instead of playing on just the 1, so we're playing in 4, what happens when we subdivide this and play this now on 1 and 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. See how it's a little bit faster? And it's making these fingers think a little bit quicker. Well, what happens is when you move really quick between this, when I go to my quarters, down, 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 look how quickly my fingers move right after my attack. My hand over here knows to keep doing the quarter notes, and then when I'm moving this, it doesn't seem to be so weird. So when I'm moving this and I actually go from down, down, my brain is starting to go, well, what if I want to play 8th notes? I would have 1 and 2 and 3 and then my hand will naturally go to down, up, down, up, down, up. Well, heck, these are 8th notes. And then if I think 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a... Let me do it on the right finger. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a... Now let's make that 1E and a 2E. Down, up, 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 down. Now we can get faster and go... Which, in that case, going that slow, those would have been like 30-second notes rather than 16 notes, but the practice still stays the same. Let's try that with our new chord. G and 2 and 3 and 4 and G and 2 and 3 and 4. G and 2 and 3 and 4 and G. And what you're going to notice while you're doing this is you're going to take your fingers off and each finger is going to layer on what it notes. So it should go, all right, second finger to the D, that goes to the B, and that goes to the G. What you don't want to do is you don't want this right hand to stop moving. You always want it to play the 1, even if your hands aren't ready there and you play the wrong thing. You always want this one to be in rhythm. It reinforces rhythm, which is very important, and then the notes will come. You and I are doing fine, and you've got wonderful finger straight up. So when you're playing your 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, look at it like keeping your right hand going and then changing this at your own pace. What you'll notice is when you switch to half notes on the 1 and the 3, because you've already accomplished doing it with the quarter notes, I apologize, with the whole notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, your fingers are used to switching 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And you'll notice the fingers will stop layering and 2, 3 and 4, and they'll start going together in groups. And then when you do quarters, they'll all fall together because you're used to doing half notes and whole tones, and you could form those structures now. Heck, you could even form them wrong and play the same version somewhere else, you know. Might not be great because it has that open G, but we'll talk about that, which is the whole reason why we do spiders. So we can move that G up and then cover the note that was funky. So work on your C's again, do all your fingers using all the rhythms, work on your F's. So F would be, this is a little fast, don't go this fast, you want to go like 50 beats per minute. But it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, now halves. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1. Now all quarters. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and right now I'm thinking 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and down, up, 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 down, up. These are eighth notes. Now in my brain I should start thinking 1E and a 2E and a 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 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2 and my hand's gonna turn into it. The last one I did was a little fast even for me because I don't practice that one that much. However, that is spot on. If you start at 1, 2, by the time you get to 16th notes, 16th are going to feel like 8th notes. And then your 32nd notes will feel like your 16th notes, and your 64th notes will feel like your 32nd notes. So it just depends on tap, 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 tap. When you speed that up to tap, 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 it's still subdivided. So if I have, that's double the time of, which is double the time of, which is double the time of, which is double the time of, see, math is just slowing down and speeding up. So C major, F major, G major, new chords, and what you did today was amazing. What we're going to lead into after we learn the next three, you've already got the majors, the 1, the 4, and the 5. Next time, we're going to be talking about a D major and how it's still a major, but when we played in C, it's a minor. And then how to teeter-totter your D minor, how to teeter-totter your E minor, and how to teeter-totter your A minor. Very much like the C major. It's a one-noter. Other than that, all we have to do is take the C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and add it to the beautiful diminished. And we've got a full scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, which helps us go. And these are just scales. And guess what? Once we do every single one of these scales for every single key, it's something that you will take with you. And the scales that we do when I go, all those notes when I'm playing with somebody that's playing rhythm like a, all the notes I played that were superfluous besides just the chords, they're based off the scales. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. When I played that B diminished, I played a B diminished scale. Whole tones, half notes would have worked. Anywho, I really enjoyed seeing you. Let's work on the C major, the D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C. When we realize our other chord of the day would have been G. G has one sharp, it's an F sharp. If I played G, A, B, C, D, E, F, it wouldn't have the same impact as, it would have still major, just not as pulling towards the one side. We'll talk about them more in detail. Other than that, I really enjoyed seeing you. I cannot wait to see you next week. Try and do your spider exercises all the way up, keeping all 4 fingers rocking. Make sure you complete the phrasing, and when you get done with doing your 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. You try just doing dun 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 dun. Quite literally, what you're doing is playing quarter, 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 quarter. So 16, so there's 4 measures, 4 strings, that's 16 notes, and 4 notes times that, you're basically doing 1, 2, 3, 4 on each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So if you're doing that strengthens 2 fingers. If you're doing you're strengthening 3 fingers. There are multitudes of different things we could do, but once we kind of bridge the gap of getting our hands to work together, you and I are just going to start playing tunes together. And at that point, the sky's the limit. We could choose to go as far into theory as you want, or just learn new instruments, because we're just doing this as a major pedagogy class. Or we could focus on the uke, or we could jump back into trumpet if you want. I would love to learn a little bit more about that. Anyway, it's wonderful seeing you. Can't wait to see you next week. Aloha.